devise more ways of getting things, other numbers to support what 1025 is doing. And as a regulator also, we have done a lot. We have supported the prison services, the immigration, and the police with rights, and like everybody else has done. These are things that we also feel that we as an institution, we have to help. But in terms of telecommunication, we are working with operators to come up with bundles that are going to be friendly to the consumers. That will be something that will be easy on their pockets. As we all know, all earnings have reduced during this COVID period.
Well, I understand Pura is in the process of, having other numbers apart from the 1025. But how soon will this be?
Some of these numbers are already in existence. They are long numbers, but they all end with 1025. But there are associations that are working with the ministry, who we've given these numbers to, and then they're using them currently, not only for the reporting of COVID cases, but also we have to realize there are support services that are behind this for people like the frontline services. There are numbers that they can use so that they have psycho support analysis or something like that, that they can help them with and stuff. So we are doing that, and we are continually working with the operators to make sure that we can come up with more tailored services that the consumers can. And we have to understand one thing. The operators as well are experiencing reduced incomes with regards. They're supporting the students of the university. 5,000 of them are getting reduced services. And a lot of other services that they're doing, they're supporting the health services. But what we can do with them is to make sure that we work with them so that they can also play their role that they should play.
Earlier, you mentioned the reduction in quality of the internet services of recent. Now, tell us, what is Pura doing, or is Pura doing anything with regards to this?
Absolutely, we are. Just before the COVID hit, we have invested in a machine called the Quality of Service machine. This machine is connected to all operators' networks. And now it's not going to be a question of me just saying your network is poor. The machine can actually tell where, by the minute, up to the second, in terms of what village, what town, that network has gone down. And we have devised a way which we have agreed with the operators, that they are going to be fined for any poor quality that they've given. And this is going to be automatic. Anytime we know that this is happening, the machine will automatically generate that your quality of so-and-so, in terms of call drop or call service, have gone down. An invoice will be generated and you will pay. And this money will be put together by Pura, not to be used by us by all means. We want to use this money, reinvest it back into the ICT sector so that it can grow.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sima, for your time on the news.
Yes, just before I go with electricity, you said also, and with regards to electricity, we know there's a lot of intermittent electricity supply that we are experiencing. We are very much aware of this. This is because NAVEC has missed a few key maintenance schedules before, months ago. And this is the ripple effect that they are doing. So now those machines are off. But if you don't do that, they're going to run aground. And because they are off, NAVEC at peak period now is experiencing about 7 megawatts shortfall in supply. Because when we all go to our homes, we all turn on our TVs, the demand gets greater. And if machines are not there to support, this is something that is, but as like you said, with regards to how we support the consumers, we are also working together with our line ministry to come up with a price reduction in terms of tariffs for NAVEC. As you know, we cannot control the prices for the telcos because it's a competitive environment they operate. But with NAVEC, as a monopoly, we can do tariff reviews and see, because we all know oil prices have gone down, and as such, this is something that we want to be reflected, that consumers can actually benefit from this. This is something we have done with the ministry, and is in very advanced stages, and we expect this to be rolled out very soon.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sima, for that information, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Now, moving on, the Gambia Immigration Department has commenced a 2-day tour of its borders and coastal seafronts as it intensifies surveillance. The first phase of the tour focused on the coastal and fish landing sites in Combo South region. By Ibrahim Cham accompanied the team and files in this report.
Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department has led a team of officials to inspect the coastal border area and major crossing points prone to people crossing into country illegally. The tour commenced at Kartong, where the immigration officials are working closely with the Gambia Armed Forces to tighten border surveillance. The fishing community is still going about their businesses, but the river transportation business has come to a halt due to the closure. At another fish landing site in Kartong, the officers on duty explained that the fish factory has closed due to the lack of activities of boats coming from Kafunting to supply Sardinera. And since the Gambian fishermen can't meet their demands, the factory has put a halt to operations temporarily. Further down the hinterland is a crossing point to Kata. Here, the DDG was briefed by Captain Adam Asadi. Here, border crossing remains impossible during high tide. We spoke to ASP Bakari Baji on the significance of these crossing points.
When it comes to coronavirus, obviously we have to double up. This is why Katong, both the crossing point of Katong needs to be well secured. As officers, you can see them every day. They are here 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening, both the military and the immigration. So for Katong, obviously, it is important that eyes are focused on all sides of the borders.
The tour party proceeded to Gunjur, where they were received by Inspector Maria Manyando, who oversees Gunjur and Sambuya area. She told the delegation that since 27th March to August 18th, 9 boats have been intercepted, 61 persons repatriated, and 5 quarantined. She added that the team also intercepted a boat carrying 63.5 kilos of sugar from Senegal. At Sanyang, the security team met the VDC chairman and the beach committee, who worked closely with the immigration personnel to make sure no boat smuggles in people from neighboring Senegal.
So far now we have intercepted 5 boats that are coming from Senegal. Normally they come around 8 o'clock, and they will land. They will want to land at night. So we call a meeting at the beach here, and we inform our committee, that is the fisheries committee responsible at the beach side. So we had that discussion. We are not here all the time, but those people are working for the community. And we told them that any boat coming from Senegal, they should not be landing in Sanyang.
Batakunku was the next stop where just in about a boat with 3 Senegalese were intercepted with the help of the quad bikes used to patrol the coastline.
So this morning, this boat has landed here, without knowing that there are officers posted along the beach side. So when they saw this boat and they have to come and then come closer and invite the captain, when, through that interrogation, try to find out where they come from, and they finally established that the boat has, come from Senegal in Bur.
On a busy day of activities along the country's vast coastline, the team made it to the busy Tangier fish landing site. And due to the heavy presence of boats, the immigration registered each boat, considering most of the others left the country and are trying to return.
Yeah, normally, the Senegalese who stayed here, who didn't go for the prayers, normally every ship captain is registered through immigration. And if you are registered, you are given a card. So if you are going for shipping, we give you that card to go with. And if you come back too, you have to know how many men you are going with. And if you come back, we have to screen the boat and you the captain to go and show your card to the base. So we can know that if you go with 10 men, you have to confirm it from the boat that you have gone with 10 men. And if you come back to, you confirm it. This is how it's done.
Wrapping up the day-long activity, the DDG and team proceeded to Burfoot. Just like other landing sites, the facility is under surveillance too.
Now, the National Road Authority recently embarked on a cleansing exercise of the drainage system along the Westfield-Lamin Highway. The initiative is meant to allow easy flow of water to avoid flooding during the rains. Well, following that massive cleansing exercise by the National Road Authority, we are now joined live in the studio by the Senior Radio Engineer, NRA, Bakari Mane, to shed more light on their program. Good evening, Mr. Mane, and welcome to the news.
Good evening, Winifred, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, now tell us why this initiative, especially at this time of the year.
Well, thank you so much once again. It is very important. The National Roads Authority, let me make this thing clear first. The National Roads Authority, of course, we are the custodians for all roads and bridges in this country.
Yeah.
And for that being the case, but cleansing, cleaning on the road or the drainage, that is not our purview. But you said why we're doing it at this time of the year. We've realized it. We've realized most of along the Westfield Brikama Highway.
Yeah.
Most of our roads, when it rains, it gets flooded. And because of that, because the drains have been filled up with sands and garbages inside the drains. So, but normally, because it's supposed to be the municipalities or the councils who are supposed to be doing this exercise. Exactly. We are only responsible in the engineering aspect of it. That is building the drainage. And of course, when it collapses or something happens, then we reinstate or whatsoever. That is our mandate. That is what we do. But cleaning it of obviously lies on the municipality also, or the council. But because we cannot also sit back and relax and say our roads are being damaged, especially when you go in, you've seen it started developing some potholes along the highways. So that's why we took it upon ourselves, even though we invited the councils. What the response we got from the councils are, they don't have that power, or they don't have that financial muscles or capacity to be doing this exercise. And that's why we started it at this midst of the rain to cleanse it. But nonetheless, we also following our contractors, because it's not only with along the Westfield Brikama Highway, but of course we're in Bakau, and we're on around Senegambia and in Kanifing. So it's globally where we have existing drains, and we've seen that the drains are not properly functioning. That's why we come in with this intervention to clean and make sure we have a very free flow of stormwater to drain the water away from our roads.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Mane. I'm afraid time is not on our side, but definitely we will have you back.
Thank you so much.
The program.
Thank you.
And now with that, we go with a short break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Imagine your life without connection. Every change comes with new challenges and opportunities. So now is the time for a new normal, new habits, new ways of communicating your love, needs, and ambitions. Africell makes it possible. Staying apart, together, with one heart.
Before we take leave of you, a quick look at our headline-making stories. His Excellency President Adama Barrow joined his West African counterparts on an emergency ECOWAS virtual summit to discuss the crisis in Mali. The government of the Gambia is working with officials in Lebanon to repatriate over 30 Gambians stranded in the Middle East country. The AU and ECOWAS have suspended Mali from their decision-making bodies. The UN Security Council is the latest to condemn the military takeover in Mali, in which the president, prime minister, and several government ministers and officials were arrested. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Do join us at 2200 hours for more news. Until then, do stay tuned and always stay safe. COVID-19 is real.
Ande ati kodi di go ba for